Hi, I'm Victoria. I'm a dog trainer and behavior consultant here in New York. And the most important thing that I think you could ever teach your dog to do is to respond consistently when their name is called. You can use this anywhere when they're not paying attention to you, when they need to decrease that distance between what they're distracted by and you. So, how do you do that? Well, first of all, you start inside, start in a low distraction environment, get their favorite treat or their favorite toy that they like to play with. Call their name, and when they respond, start playing with them or give them a treat. Sometimes you need a little help getting their attention when you're calling their name. So you could use a squeaky toy, call their name, Rover, and then squeak. And when they look at you, start playing with them or give them a treat. And it's really important that not only do you do this inside, but you measure if they've acquired this skill inside. Do they do this 80% of the time? When you've called them, do they look at you and come closer? If you see they're doing it about 80% of the time, you can move it outside to more distracting environments. So say you're walking down the street and they start sniffing the ground. Call their name. You can use your squeaky toy as well. And then when they look at you, either start playing tug of war with them or give them a treat. I'll give you a tip. When you're outside, and if you're doing this in a high distraction environment, especially when there's something super exciting around, like another dog or maybe a squirrel or a cat's running by, that treat might not be as valuable as that toy, because an active behavior sometimes requires an active reinforcer. So if they're pulling towards another dog, they might be like, get that treat out of my face, lady. But if you have a squeaky toy, has a plush squeaky toy that they can play tug with, it's sort of, they're redirecting that excitement onto something. So that's what I would suggest in a more stimulating situation. So being able to teach your dog to respond to their name consistently when you call it is going to help you with leash pulling, lagging behind, distractions on the ground, distractions from afar. If you have a dog who's maybe a little fearful of people, other dogs, maybe they're a little defensive, if you get them to be conditioned to responding to their name, it'll take the focus off of that stimulus onto you. But it's always important to pair their name up with a reinforcer, a treat, play, a toy, whatever it is they find reinforcing. So some people say, well, if I'm calling their name so frequently, am I going to be overusing it? Not if you pair it up with a reward, because it's essentially another cue, just like sit, down, whatever. You can never say it too frequently if there's a reward involved. So the main goal here is for your dog to associate you with wonderful things. When they pay attention to you, all good things happen. Frequently you see dogs who are being walked off leash, and the people get super frustrated when the dog won't come back to them because they're distracted by another dog or a person. It's only natural. I mean, a lot of these dogs are really young that I see off leash, and it kind of upsets me. And the dog has never been taught to respond to their name. They've never been rewarded for responding to their name. So the person who's calling them to them gets angry, they get frustrated, and the dog runs further away because they want to avoid a punishment. So always use a reward or a reinforcement when you are calling your dog, using their name. You don't want to overuse it without a reward, because it's just like a parent calling their child to do a task or clean their room. The child's going to just plug their ears whenever they hear their name. If it's something that is not positively, does not make a positive association with their name. So I hope this has helped, and I really suggest that you do practice it. It might seem really simple to train your dog to respond to their name, but if they do it consistently, it will really help in so many situations, and it will build your bond stronger with your dog, because in general, they will just pay much more attention to you and consider you the source of reinforcing things and fun. So if you have a comment, please leave it. If you have any questions, leave those as well. Thanks.